Hello everybody, Interjection here. Welcome back to the Spring Championships. Now, before I get this video underway, I just want to talk about what's going on because out of nowhere there does just seem to be this Spring Championships, whatever that is. There is zero context and zero sort of warning about what this is. It's a tournament, yep, an Age of Empires 3 tournament with a fair bit of money attached to it, I might say. $700 currently, and we are hoping to get that to 1,000 before the thing finishes, and I'm fairly certain we will achieve that. But yep, Spring Championships, it is indeed an Age of Empires 3 tournament. It's going to be structured a bit like I'm guessing most of you are familiar with how the football/soccer World Cup is structured, or I guess any other cup, if like, I know football's not as popular in the Americas, and that's in the North America at least. Anyway, but yeah, currently the group stages have ended, and the first round of the knockout stages has begun, where players can now be eliminated. But yeah, I'm not going to talk about this too much because I am going to make a fairly detailed video about all of this and about what's going on, and I will release that in about a week's time, once my term/semester, whatever you want to call it, at university finishes. But for now, I did just want to put this quick message into the beginning of this video just to let you know briefly what's going on, because there has just been zero context. There's going to be some fairly frequent videos of games from this tournament coming out on my channel over the next couple of months, and there's not really any reason as to why. So yeah, I guess this is your context/reason as to why. I mean, the video explaining everything I'm planning to make in about a week's time I should have already made, but I have been a bit busy with assignments and stuff. Got quite a few due at the end of this week, but then I do get 4 weeks off. It's going to be great. But yeah, lots of videos going to be coming out during those 4 weeks. I'm gonna, got lots of time, and I also have several Saturday SmackDown VODs which I never actually managed to get out. I recorded every Saturday SmackDown, and I've got all the recordings still, and I will get them all up, and we're going to catch up totally over Easter. 4 weeks off, there's going to be loads of games being streamed for the tournament over Easter that I'm going to be involved in, and this channel is just going to be quite active, so I hope you guys are happy about that. Anyway, this particular game, it is the second match between Tibia and KingRichardIIII in a best-of-3 series for the tournament. Of course, currently this is the round of 64, where obviously 64 players will battle it out for a place in the next round, which will be the round of 32, where obviously there will be 32 players left who will battle it out. And yeah, but this is the second game. The first game in the series, this best of 3, was the previous video on this channel. So if you want to watch that video before you watch this one, then go and do that now, because I am about to spoil the results of that game. Yeah, Tibia is currently a game up, and obviously the winner of this series will progress to the next round. It's a best of 3. So if Tibia wins this game, he progresses through. If he loses this game, then they're both 1-1, then there's a deciding match. But yeah, the next round is the round of 32, whereas 32 players, as I said, they'll battle it out in a slightly more intense best of 5, I think. Yeah, as each round progresses, they'll have to play longer games, like best of 3 for this one, best of 5 for the next one, best of 7, I think, for the one after that, etc., etc. But yep, each player gets eliminated if they lose. The winner progresses to the next round, Yep, round of 64, then 32, then 16, then 8, which is, I think, the quarterfinals, and then etc., etc. That's how it works. But yes, lots of information in the description of this video if you want to know more about this event, and certainly the tournament website as well. Do check those out, and of course there will be a video on this channel explaining everything in due time, in about a week's time. But yeah, without further ado, let's get this underway. Enjoy the video. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this game between Tibia and KingRichardIII. I stand corrected, he's actually got 4 eyes there, not using the conventional Roman numerals, but perhaps the name was already taken, I have no idea. This is game number 2 in a best of 3 between these two players for the Spring Championship round of 64. There will be more information on my channel as to what that is. There may already be a video, it'll be in the description if there is, because this will end up on YouTube at some point, I'm sure. Currently, we are live on Twitch to 200 viewers. Hello everybody in the chat, how are you doing today? This game, we have, in the west of the map, in the colour green, Tibia, playing as the French for this second game, going straight for that 40 coin treasure there, 200 wood start, really nice, gonna get that market down, that 40 coin, gonna be really useful, similar to the Great Plains, absolutely, and has a 50 coin on the other side. We see his villagers already going for the trees, wants to collect 50 extra wood, of course, he's got 100 for his house, 100 for his market, 50 he wants to collect right now for that, of course, hunting dogs. And his scout, already scouting, has come across a 20% HP, not going to be too useful. But red, Here we have King Richard playing as the French as well. This is the mirror matchup. Here he is in the east of the map, already has his market down, and similarly also has some coin treasures in his base, but has actually found 40 wood, which I'd say is better than the 2 coin treasures that actually Tibia has. That's going to be really useful. Only going to have to collect the 10 wood since he will have the same crate starts, and as the 30 coin in his base, he'll only have to collect 20 coin as well. But this is a French mirror. What do you think, H2O? Tell me.
I think what we're going to see is, ideally forward buildings. I think because the matchup tends to stalemate and sometimes people will try to sneak out age-ups. Ideally, you want to just kind of have military buildings here. And if both players decide to do that, then it's probably double racks musket. And if they don't, then it's like stable and Iraqs, and you just like kind of make a few husks. But really, this game tends to play itself out in colonial. And as a timeout here, it looks like, oh, never mind. I thought that Tibia might have caught this native scout, which would have been pretty helpful for him.
That would have been pretty good.
But yeah, that's the way the matchup generally plays out, is just kind of colonial age. Especially at the highest level, there's no real opportunity to age, unfortunately.
Yeah, my experience with this matchup, French is probably one of the civs I'm most competent with, and in the mirror, I'm always like, you're playing, you start with the barracks into stable, and you get a couple of cavalry out to do some raiding. You don't want too many, because really you're just going to be massing muskets, and you add in a second barracks and mass even more muskets, and that's really how this matchup works. You might want to add in a few crossbowmen if you can spare the wood, but most of the time you'll probably not want to do that, because the wood can be spent on other things, and that does, I mean, a few crossbowmen might make your matchup versus a pure straight up musks better, but I'm always looking for that time to age, because if you can age, skirmishers absolutely wreck face, and dragoons are so good against cavalry, and that's really the only thing your opponent would be able to make if you can, against your skirmishers, if you can sneak the age up in. But it's really, really tough to do that at top level, because if you don't constantly make musks and you're playing for the map, this is a mirror, of course, mechanically. Anyway, it's hard to get the age up in, but if you can, you can win the game that way too.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder what Tibia is gonna do, because he does have a bit of the he has the experience advantage, so to speak. He's more comfortable playing some of these more competitive matches than I think King Richard is. So he may try to sneak in that age up that we're talking about, or maybe he'll go double racks expo.
Oh, here comes Green for the 135 XP treasure. What a pro, picking that up, you cheeky little bastard.
And the native scout in the mix here too. This is going to clean up this explorer, which is really important, because he's not going to be able to know what's coming now.
That's true, didn't it? Well, also it secures 45 XP, and that does kind of really make it awkward when you do get up, because you do have less scouting potential. Fortunately, he is playing as France and does have a native scout, but that looks like it might get caught as well if he's not too careful, though should be able to get away.
Yeah, I actually was surprised here that Tibia was going for. He took the fight the way he did. Usually you want to get the native scout first, because it's just so easy to kill.
And I think he might be able to kill it.
Both. He's getting both for sure.
He does. I think Red might be able to deny the scout. No, Green identifies that. He doesn't want to lose his scout, gets that away, chooses to not let that thing die. And actually, Red going to lose both of his scouting units. He's not going to be able to scout at all. He's not going to know what's coming, and that's going to make it really tough.
And smartly, Tibia is just, he's not going to mess around. He's just going to stealth the scout and slowly walk it over here. He doesn't need any knowledge from the scout right now.
Yep.
And now there's no way that he can mess it up. Like, I would mess this up all the time. I always do this too. I stealth it because I'll run it in and lose it to the TC if I don't.
Yep. Put it in stealth. Can't be seen. Perfectly good there. You'll see any, whatever's coming with it there at that point in the map. Obviously, you don't want it too close to your opponent's town center, since that would reveal it. But here we see Green coming through. Is going to check. Both players almost up. Tibia knows he's 96% stage, and it's a mirror, so he's probably expecting his opponent to be aging at probably the same time. And he'll walk back through there with his scout to see what his opponent ages up with, which will most likely be 400 wood. That'll be what he's expecting, because that's pretty standard. There it is. Going to use that wood, of course, to get down a stable and a barracks, and then send 700 wood behind that, and you can add in some houses and perhaps another military building. But Tibia probably going to want to see what's going on, but no funny business.
Yeah, I don't see anything particularly funny. I do see actually King Richard going for it's a lot of vills on the racks in the back.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit. It's almost like it's trying to be hidden, but it's probably not, because the vills are probably just going to hunt out here. But
yeah,
we can see already kind of that difference, right? Like, the level of herding that Tibia has with these deer is a bit better than what King Richard's been able to do so far. And that's just going to cost him food over time, having those villas all the way out there.
That's true, and it also makes them more vulnerable to the raiding potential, which is certainly, that can happen. Here, though, Tibia, is he playing a slightly different build? He went up, yes he is, he's gone with the 4 villagers instead of the 700 wood. Looks like he wants to semi-FF here, which is, yeah, and King Richard sends 700 wood, so going to be playing the standard sort of single rack, single stable, then use this 700 wood to add in, or has he even gone for a set stable?
Nope, he's just single racks. And
just
I think,
single racks, no stable, okay.
Yeah, I think this is meant to just be like playing it safe and making sure that you get all the muskets out. Looking at the improvements, they both have steel traps, and I mean, this is like the perfect build to semi-FF against like defensive Raxes. Yeah. And this Explorer is going to see all these vills, and I guarantee you those are going to home in on those vills. But we should see 5 muskets coming out very shortly. If he queued right away, then these vills should be okay.
Yeah, and I think he's going to start killing off that villager, going to bring it down. Do you think we might see the units come out to pot? Yes, there's the musketeers. Right there, perhaps on the wrong side, but it doesn't really matter too much. Actually, you know, I'd say that's the correct side, because he had other muskets coming in on that side of the barracks, and he wanted to perhaps block the cavalry from retreating through there, that they do just go around the back. Does take
another vill going down to the 3, and 2 more. Oh, that's 2 more potentially going down.
He's not going to like that. He has added in the stable, though. It's worth pointing out. And he has decided that actually instead of a second barracks, he wants his amalgamation upgrade for his coin money. 2 villagers going down, not too good. Wow, Tibia on 22 vills, though he did send, of course, that 4 villager shipment. But King Richard on 12. That's absolutely insane. He's 10 behind at this 7-minute mark.
This is just insane. Like, he could go pure Hussar and beat pure Musket with that type of a vill lead. And Tibia actually not going for it, just playing super standard. He's got the only thing that was non-standard about this is that he made 9 Hussar right out the gate, and he snuck in the 4 vill. Yeah. But now he's just going to go standard double Rex musket, and he also sent Spice Trade actually after 700 wood, so his vills are even more effective than what they look.
They're going to be so good. I mean, King Richard has sort of evened up the village account with the 4 vill shipment now. What do we see? Oh dear. That's a lot of cav, and there are a lot of vills. That's not good. Where are his muskets? He needs to get them over now. I think that just loses him the game. That's that.
They're jammed by those 4, and that's a lot of muskets that are in the wrong position. And he's going to lose 2 more vills. He's back down to 16, even though he sent the 4. So
forcing them away though, but it's just too late. And then, I mean, it just goes to show you really do need to do the hunting, and even more vills going down in his base. Tibia on top of this, just ruling this game, and I do like his build actually. I think it's slightly different. It is still completely. All he's done is switch the 4 villager and the 700 wood, and started with a stable like you would in a semi-FF, and then when the 700 wood adds in the 2 barracks afterwards, which seems completely fine to me. But you could get punished by that.
That's why you proxy Rax in this matchup. That's why you build your stuff up here, because like if he does something dumb like that and has no units, then you have 5 muskets and they're underneath his town center. But yeah, you definitely need to go with the 700 wood for sure, because you can't make enough units early if you don't.
Yeah, I like the build. I think though it is punishable, as we've been saying, and etc. But
yeah, it's nice. I agree.
Oh goodness, and now he's got on top of that the cavalry hit points. Absolutely insane. Like investing in these later game upgrades. He could be sending things like 700 coin, which has just arrived for Richard, and of course you could sort of sort macro your economy, sort it out so that you're collecting mostly food, and you'd use the coin to compensate for the lack of coin gathering, and you could make lots of units. But actually deciding to invest in the late game upgrades, and I think he can completely get away with it considering the amount of villagers he's killed.
Yeah, I think that's a smart move. When you're ahead, you want to boom basically or attack. Like you don't really want to make more military. Like right now, if you let's look at the army that he has right here. A lot of players get into these positions and don't know how to close the game. Like you got 20 musket and 8 Huss, and your opponent has 10 musket. Like what do? You take every single TP. You keep fighting with these until he deals with it, and you age up with like 3 stagecoach TPs or something. Like you know what I mean? Like it's going to take King Richard so long to deal with this army. And adding more units doesn't really add any value here. Like 10 more muskets doesn't change the situation at all.
So you just stop making units and instead just boom with the TPs, as you said. The Minutemen coming out, though, going to force him back. He's not going to want to take that because Minutemen, of course, do lose those hit points over time. 5 cav popping out. Perhaps now he wants to snare him with these cav and then use the Minutemen sort of power spike that he has to deal with this army. Tibia has been adding in a few more units. We do see 10 Musk now entering the fray, though they are targeting that villager when really they should be attacking the military units. But overall, I don't really think it's going to make a huge amount of difference. Here, though, what do you think? I think Green's got it.
Yeah, Green's got this fight. Well, it doesn't matter who has this fight. Like he can walk away and age up
Yeah.
or do whatever he wants. To what we were saying earlier. I mean, he was able to pick up once again. Tibia's or Richard's vill count is still at 14. It has not moved. Like he just lost 4 more vills that he had built in that time, and so the game's just he's just not moving forward with anything. It's just kind of in the same state the whole game.
Mm-hmm. Wow, he's literally 15 vills behind. That's insane.
Yeah, he's 10. He's at half economy, less than half because of the spice trade. He's got 10 more muskets now because of that exchange. But I mean, 10 more military pop, but 6 of those are dead minutes. So, I mean, it's kind of a now or never situation for him, and
Yeah.
it's really more of a never and never situation because of how far away he is from Tibia's base.
Yeah, 3 cav coming out though, gonna push that advantage. Perhaps has identified that he has to win the game if he's going to now. Because he has this 700 coin advantage. Well, he doesn't know he has the advantage here, but certainly 700 coin compared to Spice Trade is a lot faster and is going to result in more military units. And actually, we do see here that, well, to be fair, it's completely even, but it kind of looked like for a moment that Red had more. He's not going to be able to cut it, though. I think Green's completely okay. And behind this, with a double, like literally double the villagers plus Spice Trade.
Now he's getting Cray, and I think he's going to make a Cray. He sent Eco Theory now, too, on top of it, so now he's got that 10% bonus. He's going to start making Cray vills from the TP, and maybe he's even going to get some of the upgrades there if they have some upgrades for all your units.
They do. They do, yep. Got a second town center, essentially. The Cree villager, you get 5 extra villagers, so double town center until the 5 are created, plus the Eco Theory, as you said. This is, playing super safe, and I guess why wouldn't you?
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly how I'd want to play this game. I'd be so comfortable right now.
Yeah. I mean, the game was, I guess, sort of decided when those villagers got caught. All of those, there was quite a lot of them, let's be honest.
Yeah, I wonder what's going to come out here. I mean, he does have a pretty big army, and Tibia hasn't really made that much. There we go.
And this is both players sort of playing really passive, or at least Tibia is. But now this is where he decides to end the game. The tree's going to perhaps cause a few sort of pathing issues for the cavalry. Certainly there are a lot of cavalry not in combat, and he wants them to be doing damage. They're not doing damage, so this is a good place for Richard to have a fight. But ultimately, Tibia does have more units, and I think it's going to show. Though having said that, a lot of those units are cavalry, and against muskets, they're not hugely useful. But I still think he's going to be perfectly fine. And even if he's not, you've got 8 crossbowmen plus more musketeers on the way.
Yeah, and he's also got double the villager count.
Yeah, we've said that so many times. It's just such a big factor in this game now.
Yeah. This is that never moment happening right now. And
yeah. And I think, if Richard, in theory, he thinks, okay, maybe I've got a slight advantage right now. About 5 minutes ago, I have to push right now. But this is where, Tibia, you can clearly see, has won the game. I think we'll see.
Yeah, he's chasing him down, and the 4 more Hussar and 3 more muskets is not going to be enough here. 600 coin coming in, he's just trying to stave off. But, I mean, each time he sends one of those cards, too, another upgrade card comes in for Tibia, right? So.
And that's, even proving his long-term position even more, absolutely. I think for Richard to win this game, I mean, there are a lot of villages sort of just, located around the map with no towers to protect them. I think what you've got to do is find them, kill them, but where do you get the cavalry to do that? I mean, it's possible that he could come back, but it's rather unlikely.
You need to kill at least 16 of them just to almost be even in economy.
Wow.
So that's a lot.
Now that you mention that, I'm starting to doubt my logic.
No, your logic is solid. I mean, even he has to if he cleans up all the vills down here, it doesn't even matter.
Pardon me?
Still, even if all the vills in the corner die, that's only 9. So it's amazing how many vills Tibia has because he's also now Cray booming. His Cray boom's probably almost done now. We can check the queue. Yeah, he's still making Cray CDB, so it's not quite done yet.
I want to take a look at the villager graph at the end of this game. But Tibia does have the age up fast option in queue, 65, 68, 70% done. There it is, going to be getting up, and then he'll get the veteran C upgrade on his musketeers, and then can switch to making skirmishers. Or maybe, since he's got a solid mass of musks, he could go for cannons, but he hasn't switched his villagers to coin, so it doesn't look like that's what he's intending to do. I think he's just going to keep up the skirm production.
I think he could just drop TCs here too.
Yeah.
He could drop 2 TCs and just boom right now, and be totally fine.
That's so safe. It's not even funny. At this point, wouldn't you be more like, oh, I should probably just finish the game now?
I actually would go for. I would like it based on if he's gonna sit there. I'm not gonna go into his TC. I mean, he can quit if he wants, but I'm gonna boom back here and have I'm gonna have 80 vills and then yeah, go like
I,
I'll go industrial. I'll do anything but try to end the game basically.
yeah, I guess that does sort of like, I mean, you could make skirmishes, get the veterancy upgrade and push. That's one way of doing it, but it's dangerous. There's a town center. You could make, you don't want to fight under that, and he could do something funny or a bit funky. Minutemen, from the
Vills.
colonial militia, yeah, villages. You've got those things are really strong as French. They've got how many hit points? 243 with a 40% ranged resist. But actually, no, he did get his veterancy upgrade and is making skirmishes and dragoons and actually wants to finish the game, which is by no means wrong. I definitely think he can finish it here.
Yeah,
But
this is an extreme case where it's already pretty much over, right? I mean,
But yeah, you could play it safe and go with the town centers as well. But here, it's just got a bigger mass, 57 units against this smaller army, and his units are all much stronger in terms of veterancy. He's got a couple of crossbowmen mixed in there. I mean, yeah, Red's using his villages, and even if he does put every villager here and manages to repel it, what at that point?
yeah.
King Richard up to the fortress. He knows he has to follow his opponent up, otherwise he's going to get behind. Those skirmishers and dragoons are so strong against the colonial musketeer hussar composition that you have, and he needs to follow him. But actually, there's still 2,200 resources he hasn't spent on military, and he kind of needs military, and I don't even know at this point.
Yep. And I think King Richard has to be done here. I mean, he's just out of everything.
It is a tournament game, though. He wants to play it on to the last moment. It is an important match. It's not like one of those casual games on ESA where you're just like, GG, you win. He actually, he's got to make sure he's lost before he truly wants to resign. And I respect that decision. But there we see the resign. Tibia takes the second game, and that does conclude this best of 3, putting him through to the round of 32.
Yeah, let's check out that villager graph. I'm gonna pull it up so you can share your thoughts on that.
I'll bring it up as well on my screen. Wow, that's a lot of villagers. All resources gathered. Holy balls! That's
That's a pretty big gap, yeah. Well, I mean, he had half villagers, so you would expect he gathered about half of what Tibia gathered. And I mean, the only reason it's not exactly half is probably because of all the crates.
yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, that's that. Do we have any more games coming up?
Yeah, we have 2 more series that are competing right now.
All right, I'm going to head on out of this game. Thank you very much for watching this series, and I will be back soon, I suppose.